changed the world.
Hello, and welcome back to the world of assassination and the trending contracts. And today's contract, Penelope Graves and Militia Soldiers, set in Colorado. And the contract ID is up on the screen now for anyone who wishes to have a crack at it, and has been supplied to us today courtesy of Captain Cruncher's 12. So on to our briefing, and well, there isn't one, so we'll just say our targets today have been very naughty and they need to be punished. And speaking of our targets, today we have 5 of them with no stipulations on how we dispatch them or what we wear whilst we do so we have a free map. So for today's challenge, we will be starting undercover at the greenhouse. We're going to have a sniping rifle stored up at the water tower, and we're going to be bringing with us an eggmatic gas grenade and a vial of lethal poison along with our silenced pistol. So right from the start and off the bat, first thing we're going to do is make our way into the greenhouse, and we're just going to wait for this gentleman right here to finish his cigarette and move away. And the second he starts moving, we are going to poison the bottle of water on the table with our lethal poison, and that will take care of Miss Greaves. So before he sits down, the poison's in the bottle and we can then move on. So from here we're going to head towards the explosives range and into the shed here, and in the far corner we will find a propane cylinder, and we're going to grab that cylinder and make our way back over towards the orchard area. And our first target is sitting down to dinner, and we are going to very rudely interrupt him in a few moments. So we're just going to place our propane cylinder right there. Now there's one of our other targets. He does prove somewhat difficult, but we will get to him shortly. So next up, what we want to do is make our way over to the water tower and climb in through the bathroom window. We're going to overflow the sink here. Now really you want to time this, because you really want to get hold of that guy there, Burgess. He is the point man, but he's also the sniper, which means that we can walk around the map openly with a sniping rifle on our backs. He's the only person I've encountered who is allowed to carry a sniping rifle. So once he comes in to investigate and turns off the sink, we can then render him unconscious, take his outfit. If you don't manage to snag Burgess, it doesn't matter too much, you just won't be able to carry the sniping rifle around open. And speaking of the sniping rifle, that is where we are heading next. So we're going to make our way up onto the water tower, retrieve our sniping rifle, and while we're up here we're going to take out our target eating dinner. He's around here, there he is. So we're just going to wait for that gentleman to pass by a little bit. We're then going to take a shot at the propane cylinder and then another shot at the propane cylinder. Yeah, you were pulled out in, mate. How did that go for you? So our first target has been dealt with. So we can now put the sniping rifle on our back and throw the briefcase down onto the roof and follow it quickly down via the ladder and retrieve the briefcase. That's going to come in somewhat handy. So from here on out we're going to move on to our next target. Now if we're quick enough we can deal with this guy very quickly. Unfortunately we have been slowed down somewhat as unexpected enforcer has made their way around the corner here. do be aware that when you do trigger a panic, many people who are not enforcers become enforcers and behave quite erratically, which is why it's a good idea to vacate any area you cause a disturbance rather quickly. So here is our next target, and as you can see, he is going to prove himself somewhat difficult. Now we need to lure him away from the kitchen area, and at first I try the briefcase, and we're just going to keep dropping the briefcase somewhere in front of him, and unfortunately he doesn't really react. He even says at one point, "Are you picking that up? Because I'm not going to do it." So he is very difficult to manipulate. We also have one of our other targets approaching the area as well. As you can see there is Miss Greaves. She is about to either have a conversation or make her way into the greenhouse. I believe she's making her way into the greenhouse as we speak, quite possibly. So we are going to suspend our attempts at attracting our next target's attention in favour of watching Miss Penelope Greaves drink her bottle of water. So I'm just going to move over towards the greenhouse. We're going to keep a safe distance, and Penelope will make her way in and very theatrically throw herself to the floor. So that's 2 targets taken care of. We can now resume our attempts at gaining the attention of our next target. I have to say I do try this a number of times using both the briefcase and a weapon of some sort. Nothing seems to really work on this guy, so what we're going to resort to in the end is an old favourite of mine, one I was trying to avoid. I was going to save the Egmetic gas grenade for somebody else, but that doesn't seem to work out so well. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to go and get the propane cylinder from the big red barn, which is the primary reason we have the Point Man outfit on. So this was always part of the plan. So once we have that, we can return to the orchards, and we're going to place this just by a empty bucket, and I think it's near a wheelbarrow as well. It's just here. It's next to an IBC. There we go, some old tyres. So we're just going to place our propane cylinder right here, and what we're going to do now is make our target sick. And the way we're going to do that is using the gas grenade we brought along. We're going to place that into the briefcase and then approach our target. But before we do any of that, we are going to put one hole in the propane cylinder just as soon as that gentleman moves away. So once he is a safe distance, we can then put a hole in the propane cylinder, quickly put away our pistol, select our gas grenade and put that into the briefcase. We're then going to select the detonator, and we're in no hurry at this point to poison our target. As you can see, there is a gentleman who goes over here to relieve himself. We've also, whilst shooting the propane cylinder, attracted the attention of somebody else. So we want to wait for both of those two to leave the area. As soon as they both leave, which should be about now for the guy inspecting the propane cylinder, we can then trigger the Egmetic gas grenade, and our target will go over and throw up in the empty bucket. As you can see, both gentlemen have now left the area. So we are free and clear to shoot the propane cylinder once our target is in place. We're not going to mess about, we're just going to get this over with. So that's another target dealt with. A rather difficult one to manipulate in the end, but I had a backup plan and that worked fine. So moving on, our final two targets are Penelope Graves bodyguards. Now because we've taken out Penelope Graves, they no longer have any duties to perform, and they have made their way to the rear of the farmhouse, and they are relaxing by the barbecue. There they are. Now as you can see, there are two other gentlemen in the area, a guard and a hacker. We're going to wait for both of them to leave. The guard already is making his way back into the house, closely followed by the hacker. So once both of them are out of the equation and a safe distance away, we're going to use the sniping rifle. You can use your pistol if you want to shoot one of the gas lamps over here, and then wait a few seconds before shooting it again. At that point, both of our targets will be in range of the explosion. So that's all of our targets now taken care of, including the tricksy one. All we have to do now is to make good our escape, and the nearest safe exit is the bridge exit. So there we go, one more trending contract taken care of, and we have confirmation all of our targets have been eliminated according to plan, even if we don't have their photos to prove it. So we get our silent assassin rating because anyone who saw us do anything wrong is no longer amongst the living. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.